check it. Because I thought we fixed that. Just put it down on the bottom ones again.
Did that whole thing record at least without, you know?
Yeah, recorded.
We can redo.
Oh my God.
We back on, y'all.
Nah, man.
Back on with the audio.
That shit fucking.
It's a good thing.
Double check on your Samsung.
It's the audio gods was in our favor because Winton was saying some
I
class A
was not.
bullshit.
You're fucking
He was
tripping.
saying some class A bullshit that
Fucking
nobody needed to
tripping.
hear. So now it gave him a little bit of time to reassess and come out with a better argument.
Fuck that. I will say it again. Your question was, if there was top 10, does this solidify Curry in top 10?
No.
And who you kicking out?
No, you said you want to kick out LeBron out the top 10.
I am saying
That's
it this
crazy.
way. I am saying
That's
Steph Curry
That's crazy.
superseded LeBron
That's why
with
I
his
wanna hear top 10.
championship. That's all I am saying. If I'm technically kicking somebody out, if the top 10 position is there and we got to put Steph Curry in top 10, I am saying, okay, maybe, okay. All right. Let me rephrase that. Maybe there are other people that can technically be bumped out of that top 10. All I am saying is that Steph Curry asserted himself over LeBron in
his top 10. He considered LeBron
Steph Curry
top 10.
ain't even in the top 5.
You're tripping.
He's not even in the top 5.
Hold
He's
on,
in top.
hold on,
He's
hold
in top 10. But
He's not even ahead of Magic.
He's not ahead of Magic.
Magic is still the better point guard.
Magic's still in there. Cream. Magic.
Now Curry is getting there.
Mm-hmm.
He's on his way.
Yeah.
But he ain't surpassed Magic. So how the fuck you gonna put him ahead of LeBron?
Bruh,
See, everybody
he has
that's
4
listening,
championships.
this man just says some asinine bullshit that you lucky that your ears didn't have to hear. Because
it was not bullshit.
So you really saved yourself an embarrassment.
No, it was not bullshit.
Yeah.
And you didn't even answer the question the first time,
I did
bro.
it. I gave you the exact
What
example.
makes LeBron James better than Steph Curry?
Dude, the stats.
Bro, leadership.
You know what I mean?
Leadership,
Yes, the stats.
leadership's
He's been in the league longer.
His
He has,
age.
but
His
longer.
age.
He
He's
has
been in the league longer.
Dude,
and Steph Curry has done it in a shorter period of time.
Winton. You gotta look at this.
Without having to move?
Winton.
Without having to
Listen,
join a super team?
That
Come on.
championship he won in Cleveland is the most impactful championship since Jordan won in Utah.
Why was it impactful? Because he left their ass.
Because he went back to Cleveland and won.
Because he left their ass and he felt bad.
But he was down 3-1.
Bro.
Dude, he was down 3-1.
No one has done that.
I get you. I hear you.
No, dude.
I hear you. It was one hell of a finals.
This is some. I'm gonna tell you how dumb you sound, and I'm gonna just
Okay.
let Warren rock on this.
I want to hear
Warren
it
is
all.
one of the biggest, not only Steph supporters, he's one of the biggest LeBron haters.
Facts.
And he is telling you sounding crazy.
You do.
To
not.
put him ahead of him.
do. Not
So let me ask you this question: what makes Jordan better than Kobe?
Kobe.
He's 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs.
6 championships. Okay.
6 finals MVPs.
Okay.
Yeah, but Kobe imitated his game.
And Kobe's basically another.
Okay.
Kobe was a second image of MJ.
So because Michael Jordan has 6 championships, he's been there, he's done that. But now I'm saying LeBron and Steph Curry are tied with championships. Am I correct? Yes or no?
But how many finals has he been to?
Technically, why would LeBron James have been to more finals? Why? Because he's been in the league way longer than Steph Curry.
No, it's because a lot of the times the team that he's always playing has a better constructed team.
Here we go. Okay, better constructive team
that he's faced.
So you're saying when Clay and Steph and Draymond won their first championship.
Mm-hmm.
You're
basically
saying
that first championship that they won,
yeah,
Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love were hurt.
Okay, I get that. Okay,
if they not hurt, LeBron wins that. So that's done. So that's what I'm telling you.
So supporting cast. So if Kyrie and Love weren't hurt,
right,
they would have won that.
Right, and that's what I told you earlier. I said they cancel each other out because I'm fair about it. If Draymond hadn't got suspended in the one that LeBron came back from 3-1. I feel like the Warriors would have won that. That's why they cancel each other out.
Phone, right?
But what?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying to you is the fact that this is the point you missing. This is the first point I made. Steph needed Kevin Durant.
No,
at the time,
opposite
one
way
of the
around.
best players in the league.
Opposite way,
and needed him. How's it opposite?
Because
Draymond called him. How is it opposite? They was like, man, we need somebody to beat Bron.
KD came to the Warriors to get the ship.
Exactly,
just like Wiggins.
I think
they coming to get. They riding their coattail. It's the opposite way around. And
how was they riding their coattail? They just lost.
KD was riding Steph Curry's coattail. And then KD wants to go and make his own name and try to build his own super team, just like LeBron did in Brooklyn. I
wouldn't say he right his coattail.
So let me ask you this: Who was the better player in the finals when KD was on the team? Who's the best player?
When KD was on the Warriors?
Yeah.
Well, they shared the ball. It was KD at that time.
Damn, I think you.
It was KD at that time. It was bad. It was bad. It was KD at the time.
So how is Steph better than him when he's player B?
Steph. So was KD there this year?
No. I asked you, no. I asked you, how is he the best player when he's player B? LeBron ain't never been player B. LeBron damn near 40 years old. He still ain't player B.
Man, his criticism for LeBron was always passing the ball in the fourth quarter, trying to give that ball up to somebody. And you're telling me that Steph Curry did the same thing with KD?
So do you want to tell me who's more clutch? You want to tell me who's more clutch? Because the damn show ain't Steph Curry.
Oh, my God.
Am I lying?
Oh, my God.
Is Steph Curry clutch?
Oh,
is that something you would say?
I wouldn't say that just yet of Steph Curry. I wouldn't say he's clutch. I wouldn't say he's clutch.
I got the whole world against me right now. And I told y'all niggas I was rooting for Boston.
But Winton.
Come after this nigga in the comments.
Oh, my God. Y'all niggas is crazy. My nigga won 4 championships
How
with
we
the same
crazy?
team.
Winton, I hear
with the same
Listen,
team.
bro, I hear your argument.
Single-handedly changed the game just like LeBron did.
He did, but he ain't there yet.
Oh, my God.
He ain't there. If he wins,
What's
he wins one or two more,
we
can have a discussion.
You're gonna be like, oh, he ain't there yet. If he win one more, he already there because technically LeBron still got 3.5 championships.
That's not the argument. There's
the
two different
bubble
arguments.
season.
He's
Nah.
definitely in the top 10.
Okay,
they're
wait,
saying that
wait,
you
wait,
don't bump
wait.
LeBron. That you're saying
I've
in
asked-
that top 10.
wait.
You're saying in that top 10 that LeBron. You're trying to say that LeBron
Should be out of the
should be
top
out
10.
of it, that, and even if he's still in it, that Curry should be
Above
Steph Curry
him.
should be above him.
Curry
Yeah.
should
Curry's
be
not
above
even
LeBron.
right.
That is
Curry-
my argument. I'm not going
LeBron-
to say kick him out of the top
Most-
10. Let me
exactly.
rephrase that. All right, he should be above LeBron.
The vast majority of analysts, just people who do this for a living, because we just four niggas talking. Like we ain't
Oh,
nobody.
you got to break that out now, huh?
Keep it a stack. Keep it a stack.
Right,
So let's
okay.
just be honest here.
Uh-huh.
But there are analysts that do this as a profession. They have LeBron number 2 on the list of NBA players in history to Michael Jordan, which I agree with. I believe that Jordan, in my opinion, is number 1. Now, where you want to debate where LeBron is, that's debatable. But most analysts have him as number 2. Most have him as number 2. So for you to say that so confidently that Steph is ahead of him, you basically saying he's number 2 to Jordan.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, this nigga.
All right, so
Somebody get this nigga.
Damn, bro, you
All
tripping,
right,
bro.
All right, look. This is what. Let me ask you this question.
Ambulance, come
Let me
get
ask
this
you this
man.
question. Let's
Come get him.
say COVID wiped out that season. Let's talk about it. And LeBron James only has 3 championships.
The Lakers. So let's go pre.
If he only has 3 championships before the Lakers,
I'm not gonna let you do that because let's talk about it. You act like the Lakers wasn't shit in the regular season, and then they fucking just ended up winning the championship. They had a 7-game lead on the Clippers in the division. They was the second best record in the whole league.
Clippers.
So what before COVID? So the fact that you trying to sit up here and say, "Oh, it was because of the bubble that they won a chip,"
Nigga,
they
it was
was
a
already
bubble.
they was already geared up to win. They was good to win. They was second in the league, the second best record in the league. AD, aka Street Clothes, he had one of his best seasons ever.
Street clothes. Shout out Street
LeBron was
clothes.
out there killing it at his age,
Shout out to
killing
Atlanta
it.
Rhodes.
The Lakers had the number 1 defense in the league. What wins championships? Defense.
Let me ask you this question.
Don't sit here and try to shortchange they chip like they just came out of nowhere and the bubbles was
Did they
saved
have
them.
Did they have to go up against Golden State Warriors at all during the bubble season?
No, he was Klay Thompson
Caden
was
Price.
hurt.
Let's go ahead and get into what happened this weekend. Let's get what happened this weekend, man. We were talking about Father's Day because obviously I'm wrong. Steph Curry with 4 championships.
No, you ain't wrong.
in a
You ain't
shorter
hold on.
period of time.
You can't be wrong with that shirt.
No,
you can't be wrong with that
no,
shirt.
Oh
He
yeah,
hella
man.
wrong.
It's my,
Nah, he definitely wrong with them shorts. Nigga.
Oh yeah. Hold on, man. I ran out of
Shorts.
the khaki shorts. To fit the outfit.
Oh, those are Dickies Walmart ones.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, man. I got my little Father's Day attire on. You know
Bro,
what I mean?
he got denim on.
Real Hawaiian.
Denim shorts.
Yeah, man.
This nigga went back to 2001.
I had to, man. I had to bring it back, man. Why you playing?
I know your balls lit.
out here showing straight kneecaps.
Yeah, facts.
No, so we still, before we move on to this, because I want to get everybody's take on it. Do you think, just round the horn real quick, you think Steph's top 10?
I think Steph now enters the top 10.
Who do you think is knocked out?
To me,
I have 2 players that I feel like you can make the argument that are knocked out. I don't have Steph in the top 10. I don't.
I I have a man.
But I do have two players that I could put in ahead of him.
To me, I've never been a fan of Larry Bird. I think he's.
That's who
I think he's. I think he's highly overrated, and I would. To me, I would remove him from the top 10
because he's white.
That's the only person I have. I have him entering the top 10, and I remove Larry Bird. Yeah.
So I will say this. Like I said, I think Steph is 11. He hasn't reached the top 10 yet. But that's just my opinion. But I will say this: I'm willing to concede if you making the argument. What you just said, Larry Bird could go, or Oscar Robertson.
Okay.
I feel like those are the two players I could
take out that.
And then put Steph in. If you said that, I'm like, all right,
I can respect that.
with it. But this dumbass nigga saying LeBron
out of here, man.
I can't even put Steph over Kobe yet, bro.
Right. No, look, if it were for the major names,
put him over Tim Duncan.
Major names,
put him over Kareem,
Magic, you got Magic, like, you got a lot of players that are
he's
there.
Like 9-10. Curry's definitely 9-10.
There's a lot of people that are in the top 10, and all I was saying is that Steph Curry is among the top 10.
All right.
I'm not saying that I'm not kicking
LeBron
out of the top 10. I am just saying I feel like, me personally, that the superstar statum and the status of Curry is above LeBron.
Let him get to 5. Let him get to 5, and then we can talk.
Oh God.
Then we have a real discussion.
What you thinking, man?
No, man. I got my thing with Curry, man. If you're gonna emulate somebody, everyone's gonna emulate him. This is what kids love, bro. Like, I see him and I'm like, bro, this dude's. I know why he's magical, though. I know why he's magical, and I've already told you this.
I know.
I feel so bad for the man. Like, I don't know what the devil has in store for him because he sold his soul. He's going to have to pay the piper. This nigga, you don't make shots like that. I'm sorry, you just don't. He sold his soul. That's the only reason he makes all them shots that he makes, bro. He sold his motherfucking soul.
Or his dad had him in the courts when he was a kid after practice throwing up shots.
No, you don't make shot. No, you don't make every shot like that. That's crazy.
I remember you and I used to joke.
He be picking the shots to miss. He's like, oh, I missed that one.
We used to joke about that at work, like we feel like he might have made a deal with the devil.
Mm-hmm. He went to the crossroads.
I feel you.
He made a deal with the devil. He got cat bones and everything. Did the whole ritual.
I do agree.
Shit.
I do agree with your first assessment, and I think Warren has said this before too. He's a lot more personable and relatable.
Yeah.
In comparison to the average person, like, and you've said this before, Warren, and I think that's true. You can't be 6'9", 240. That's what LeBron is. Mm-hmm. Not every person can be that.
Right.
There's only certain percentage of the population that's even over 6'4".
Facts.
Mm-hmm. So he is a freak of nature.
Yeah.
A freight train in sneakers is what LeBron is.
He won a genetic lottery.
Right. Mm-hmm. So relatability off the court, what LeBron has done off the court,
outstanding.
A1. But when it was Steph, you could be 6'2".
Right.
6'2" and a half, thin. Try to just work on your shot. Yeah. He's more relatable to the average person, and I think more kids, especially guys that consider themselves real hoopers, going out there in the 24s and the gyms around the world, they feel like they got a better shot at maybe getting to the league or getting to that level of professionalism because they emulating his game. Mm-hmm. So I do give him that. That is, I 100% agree with that statement. But he ain't over LeBron.
And that's also respect for generations. Like, you kind of sometimes you just get caught up with watching just a season and just remembering the past few seasons that, like, when you take a step back and look at the generations and remember the all the finals that have happened since the 80s, since the 90s, and you actually start remembering and seeing the stats, and you're starting to realize, like, whoa. Well, there's some players that we don't really respect. You know what I mean? Go back to like Magic or Kareem, all these other players. What some of the numbers
Magic
they had.
Be getting slept on, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like their numbers are ridiculous.
Magic, and it's personal with me because Magic is the reason why I'm a Laker fan to begin with. So I just have such much more of an appreciation for his game. The fact that dude was able to play all 5 positions at his size, and like his leadership skills, and the fact that his ability to pass. Like, he was Showtime Lakers, 5 chips. Yeah, like, and he was playing at a time. Like, you talk about competition. Yeah, it was rough out there with the bad boy Pistons and the Celtics and all these teams. Like, he was in the middle of that, and then he, at the end of his career, he ran into Jordan. I feel like because he did lose that was Jordan's first chip. What, 90, 91?
Yeah,
yeah. So he ran into him, and that was kind of the eclipse of Magic's career at that point. But I think Magic, like that's why I don't have Curry yet above Magic.
I would even say
he's second, no doubt. Like Curry's second.
Just talking
to
about
Magic,
going back
no
to
doubt.
generations. Is this might be disrespectful? I would just say Curry's a really, really fancy Ray Allen.
No, we're not going to say that. Listen, we're not going to say that. We're not even going to disrespect him
really
like that.
fancy Ray Allen. You know,
I ain't gonna say.
We're
all
not going
that.
to say that.
I have a lot of respect for Steph Curry, and we all joking around here. Like I said, man, we some just niggas talking. We ain't got
right.
Don't listen to us. Don't put no money on what we saying either.
Shit.
Don't come at me talking about, man, I lost money. No, we ain't on that level. But I do like Steph Curry, and I do appreciate his game. But yeah, he's much better.
His
in my
ability
opinion,
to sell his soul.
than Ray Allen. I think from a shot perspective, his impact, like bro, Ray Allen wasn't pulling up from half court and saying he was gonna make that shit.
He still made what? I mean, the amount of threes. He broke Ray Allen's record.
Yeah, but Ray's a catch and shoot. You know, catch and release.
Yeah.
No, but Ray could like he was on the ball. He could have the ball and score. Let's not shortchange Ray.
I'm not gonna
Ray
say
with
that,
the Bucks and the Sonics.
But I mean, a really,
like
really, really fancy Ray Allen.
No, Steph Curry could create on his own.
I think I get
handles.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
But Steph is definitely he's above that. Just his shot ability. Yeah, the shot
it's never been seen.
Like
it's never been. Yeah, that's
insane.
True. That's what happens when devil gets.
I will say this though. I will say this though, man. Magic is a marked man. If he wins one or two more rings, like.
Damn,
man, what are we going? Because
what you mean by that?
This is what you got to say about the Warriors right now. The way this team looks, where you got Poole, you know, you got Kuminga, all these young guys, they're not done. Curry he's still firing up threes, winning Finals MVPs. Clay's gonna be better. The more
Magic's numbers up.
No, I'm saying he's a marked man.
He's
a marked man.
He believes that Curry will probably be able to surpass.
Because
if Aids couldn't get him, then Curry can't get him.
I'm just saying, like, just think if Steph wins two more rings,
he's
bro.
Like, fuck Curry.
You feel me?
He said, fuck Curry.
If Steph matches MJ.
I mean, but he has to match MJ to be better. You know what I mean? That's my point.
Nobody will ever, I feel like, can touch MJ.
I think Steph has to win, and he has to be the A1 player.
Mm-hmm. He is the A1 player.
No, but he wasn't when Durant was there, so stop.
This guy.
So
neither was LeBron.
LeBron was always the A1 player.
Nigga, there was Dwayne Wade. You had Ray Allen is the reason why.
He said Dwayne Wade.
So without Ray Allen's shot, tiptoe shot on the goddamn corner, you telling me that they're there?
Bro,
you telling me that
do you know LeBron's stat line in that
more
fourth
of
quarter?
a supporting cast than freaking? I'm telling you, you want to bring up KD? I'm telling you, KD went to fucking the Warriors so he can get a ship. KD went there for him to get a ship, and he shined because he knew he had to shine.
KD was the best player on the Golden State Warriors
that year.
No, both times.
Why?
Who won the Finals MVP?
Why was he so good?
All 3 years.
Who won Finals MVP?
Tell me why was he so good? Why? Because they were still worried about Steph Curry.
wasn't riding the tail.
And if you still worried about Steph Curry, I'm getting one-on-one shots with KD, nigga. They couldn't double team both them niggas on the floor.
But that would apply to Steph. That would apply. Bro, stop.
Disadvantage, bro.
Stop.
I don't care.
That would apply both to Steph because if he was
got
the A1
championships.
If he was the A1
LeBron
player,
only got 3 ships.
The fact that you talking don't mean shit.
Nah,
so
man.
If that applies to both sides, if Steph Curry, you said they both take away they both sharing the ball. You said they both defending, right? Then if Steph Curry's A1, then why wasn't he the better player? Mm-hmm. And why didn't KD was player B? It's because KD's an all-around better player than Steph Curry is.
Was KD doubled like Klay Thompson or like Steph or Klay?
KD, bro,
was KD doubled?
You hear what this man's talking about?
I am telling you,
bro,
I'm telling you, KD had it easier when he was with the Warriors, bro.
Nobody's disagreeing with that.
Dude, but you're saying that it was KD was the main reason
he was.
Why? Because it was easy for him. That's like saying you put him Dominic Sue in the middle of a fucking nose tackle on the NFL. Is he not going to get double team every time they hit the line? He will get double team. But who else is supposed to shine? So other people are supposed to shine when you are getting double team. That's what happened to KD. Other people were shining. And obviously, KD could shine when someone else is mainly the main focus of their defense. I'm a
KD is the main focus, not Steph Curry. That's why he's player one.
Okay.
and he still was pulling up from 33 feet, cashing in people's face.
Debatable. All
It
debatable.
ain't debatable, bro.
My nigga, y'all ain't giving my nigga Steph Curry the credit he
with your
deserves.
dumb ass self.
Nah, y'all ain't giving my nigga Steph Curry the
Steph or
respect he deserves. Steph Curry. Y'all ain't giving it to him.
Let's move on, man.
You talking about he needs more championships. The motherfucker got
he
four.
He does. To surpass Magic
got four.
and to surpass LeBron.
What's the next?
Yes.
I think he's already at LeBron.
No, he's not. He's not even close to LeBron.
All right. Let's go ahead and talk about this weekend. This shit.
Kill this man.
We went from
Before we go on to the next topic, kill this man.
Call it what it is.
Boo this man in the comments.
Talking about the night.
Hey, Demo would kill this nigga right now.
Because y'all niggas is arguing.
Demo would have a stroke right now.
And I still see LeBron with 3.5 championships, but yet Steph ain't better.
All right, man, let's move on.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Let's move on, man.
Please do. Let's talk about another disappointing weekend because this shit's crazy. Let's talk about this Drake album. I'm sorry. Did I say it was disappointing?
Very.
I did.
So you already got your opinion out there.
I mean, I did like the very last song, Jimmy Cooks with 21 Savage. It was still a slow entry to it, but it was cool. And then once 21 Savage part came in, it kind of kicked up to some shit that I would think of. But it seemed like he was really going for this whole EDC house music and pop, singing style. And I didn't think he was good singing. I thought he was better rapping. I feel like when you sing, you have to have like a specific voice, a specific sound, be able to actually sing. Hold that note, whatever it is. And he didn't do that for me. He didn't cut it for me. But that's just my opinion. What you got on it?
Well, first of all, if your opinion's anything like Steph Curry, nobody want to hear it.
God, here we go. Here we go.
On this situation, so I didn't even know he was dropping anything.
Facts.
That's the first thing. I heard about it at work. It was like, oh, Drake dropped an album. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just, went to the Apple Music and I started listening to it. Before I say what I think about it, let's go to what he said. So I think he tweeted something or posted something on Instagram about it because he was getting a lot of heat from it. A lot of people were trashing it early, I guess, and I guess he was responding. He was responding to it. And he says like some people won't get it, or some people will, some people won't. Something.
I've seen that. Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe you gotta misquote me in the comments. Anybody listening, fact check me on that.
I seen that.
Yeah.
I don't like when artists try to do that to justify ineptitude or lackluster projects. Now, if the audience or the public want to make that claim for you and say, "Hey, you just ain't getting it; it's over your head," that type of thing, that's one thing. But for you to come out and say that sounds like you trying to justify a shortcoming.
Yeah.
And so I listened to it. So I'm gonna say that first. So I listened to it sonically. If I'm just talking about the way the music is constructed, so taking the words out of it, just the music, it's good, feel good music. It's music you'd probably want to just listen to while you're chilling at the beach, or you're chilling at a pool party. It's just somewhere. It's very catchy music. It's gonna get you in the rhythm, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I applied his performance with it, which I normally expect more. I'm not the biggest Drake person, but I don't trash him as much as some other people do. But my critique of him is what you've done in the past. I only compare artists really to themselves for the most part. When we start having the GOAT conversations, then we can go back and forth between each other's body of work. But in essence, when they release a project, I'm usually just comparing it to what they've already done, to their own standard that they set for themselves. And a lot of that music, that style, that EDM, that kind of Caribbean, that kind of dance, flow music, he's done that music before 10 times better. Yeah, 10 times better. So I've heard those songs before 10 times better than what you just put out. So me as the consumer, you're basically telling me, okay, I'm about to put out a whole album of songs that are less than songs that I put out before, and I'm supposed to be like, this is the best shit ever.
Right.
I just ain't gonna buy that. And the fact that he's saying we missing it, I mean, what am I
missing? He's trying to make an excuse.
Yeah, what am I necessarily missing? Now, like music is subjective, just like film and stuff like that. I get it, but I'm just comparing him to his own music. And there's even songs that are way more catchy that I wouldn't even say they're the best songs. Some of them songs kind of annoy me, but they catchy though. He is probably one of the best. I will give him this. He is one of the best artists to make songs. I'm like, man, that shit's corny. But that shit, that shit just got me moving and bobbing my head. Like he's very good at getting something catchy and being something stuck in your head. Right. Like that. What was that song on his the main album? The
Too Sexy for
Too
My
Sexy.
Shirt. Trash.
Like I hated that song, but that when that
trash.
song comes on, that beat and Future and him on there, it's like it's hard to deny and not nod to it. Even though I don't really like. I don't like his choice on why that was the song.
Girls where I'm from.
Right. So but he's done this better. Way better. And I think this is kind of really average. Especially compared to him. I ain't gonna say it's trash because some of the music, the beats, they're fine, they're cool. Like I'm not gonna say the music beats are trash, but I would say a lot of the times when he was rapping or when he was singing, I'm like, bro, you've done a better job singing on tracks similar to this. But I'm just like, I'm like, this ain't it, bro.
Yeah. I think it was that part right there, what you said for me. I felt like in some of the songs when he was actually rapping, Sticky, I believe it was, you could hear his tone and his flow, obviously from rapping to all the other singing or pop singing that he was doing, and it wasn't vibing for me.
Right.
It wasn't the normal Drake that I think I'm normal listening to when you're singing.
He's just saying stuff and then keeping a low tone.
That part.
Life isn't about finding yourself.
I hear it.
That's what he does. I'm like, yo, why y'all like this? Weird. Oh.
He said he's just saying.
He's saying shit and then there's a low tone at the end.
Right. Hey, that's
where is this lie coming from? Like, come on, man. Like, honestly, never mind.
I think I would have been happy even with how you had it.
No, let him.
Honestly,
what are we thinking?
No, never mind.
No, go ahead.
It's funny because like that whole I thought when we were listening to it, I was just like, "This is a 53-minute song. What is this?" They all sound the same. I'm like, I'm sounding like I'm at a cabana in Las Vegas, like chilling in a cabana. I'm like, I kind of want to drink right now. It is daytime.
It was on a loop.
Yeah,
like, is this
true. It sounded a lot like, I don't know if you guys ever listened to it, but Kanye West's album 808 and Heartbreaks. It sounded a lot like that.
It did sound a lot like that. Yeah. And he didn't say much.
I like it.
He just said,
I do though. I do, but like I feel like the vibe was the same. You know what I mean? But honestly, I think Drake fucked up. It should have been a mixtape. You know what I mean? Like, don't drop an album like that. You know what I mean? Like, you're too highly respected.
So let me ask you this: like, since we just talking about, do you think? So remember when? Because maybe he's stepping out of his circle. Because the one big complaint.
I was trying to think of who did that. Who did that?
One big complaint that I think Drake gets a lot is, that he's kind of similar. He stays to the same kind of thing. He never steps out of his comfort zone.
Right.
And do you think so? For example, Wayne made a rock album.
Right.
Would you think that this was something like that?
One. That's a good one.
Like where Wayne saying. Stepped out of was it Rebirth?
Yeah, Rebirth.
And that was probably one of his worst projects that he's ever done.
But it wasn't as bad.
But it was different. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit was good.
It was yeah. It was a reach.
It was definitely if we comparing it, definitely compared to Wayne's previous work or any work. It's at very bottom, bro.
Honestly,
I'll take The Block is Hot, Lights Out, bro. I'll take Lights Out. Lights Out to me was his worst album that he ever did.
Yeah, and the Carters, damn near all of them were classics.
You're right, and so and that's saying a lot because The Block is Hot is actually I love that album, but Lights Out, his sophomore album, the second one, I ain't like that one. I thought that was kind of like a watered down ass Block is Hot.
Yeah. And
then he stepped it up with 500 Degrees.
Yeah.
And then
just flames.
And then to me and then
forest fires.
And then he took it to a whole nother level with
Straight
Carter
forest
1.
Fires.
He made it legendary
and his mixtapes
with Carter 1 and then went to Carter 2 and then the rest is history. But I feel like he tried to go out his comfort zone with making that song, was it Prom Queen or something like that? And do you think that that's similar?
I think it is, but I honestly thought it was more of a reach for Wayne, because Wayne went into like a whole new world with rock music, and it really wasn't his sound. This, what Drake is doing, is kind of in his avenue. You know what I mean? It's a reach for him. You know what I mean? But we've seen Drake do stuff like this, and
we made the whole album like that. Yeah,
exactly. So I feel like it was more of a reach for Wayne. You know what I mean? Right. But I do agree with you, Rob. I think it was a step out for him.
I think it's similar to I know
switch the style up.
I know Nelly didn't make. I don't think he made a country album, but he kind of tried to step into the country song.
Right.
A few country songs. I feel like what Wayne did was similar to what Nelly did.
Right.
Like you went into you went into a whole nother genre in which you've never performed or recorded in that same fashion. As to what you just said, I agree. I feel like this is somewhat still in your lane.
Yeah.
This is somewhat, you still have done things similar to this, and for you to try to justify it and say it's new territory,
right?
And say, people ain't gonna get it.
And
that's
because there might be something wrong with you if you don't get it,
right? And that's and I get all that, but I don't. Anytime artists, and I'm talking about artists of any ilk, I'm talking about whether you a director, whether you an actor, whether you a painter, a music artist, a athlete. Anytime that person says to the public, "There's something wrong with you because you don't get it," it sounds off to me. It sounds weak. It sounds like cop out. Now, if other people are saying that about you and they make that claim, that's one thing. But when you say it from your own voice, it makes it seem like, okay, you basically trying to say you came out with some mid shit and I'm just supposed to accept it.
Yeah,
right.
He Teflon Don though. You know what I mean? He bulletproof. Drake don't. He don't sing.
Obviously, but this may hurt that status. Yeah.
No, it was Friday.
Yeah, last week,
right before Father's Day. Oh shit!
But my thing is it may hurt his status. We're obviously listening to him because it's Drake. OVO. We know some bangers finna come from it. Right? We're finna sing it all summer. I don't feel like we got that.
No,
we didn't. I don't feel like we got that at all.
No, that album that he put out, the was it? I keep forgetting.
Certified Lover Boy.
Yeah, I kept wanting to say the pregnant emojis. That's all I remember about that shit.
Me too. Yeah.
I know people was shitting on him for that. I actually thought that was cool.
I thought it was cool too. Yeah.
But that was way better than this.
Right.
That was way better than this. Like,
what is it gonna do for him though? Is my thing. Like,
nothing.
He also, if you say it that way, like people just won't get it. Like when we just recently talked about the Kendrick Lamar album. Like, you know, and I said it was trash. I didn't say it was trash, but it wasn't enough bangers for me. But I said it was lyrical genius, meaning that even though I didn't think it was a banger, I didn't think it was a club banger, the words, the message, the picture he painted was very clear. When I listened to Drake's, it wasn't really that impactful, I guess you could say, when we're talking about like, you just won't get it. Like, what won't I get? Like, you know, because I didn't really hear anything that was crazy. I didn't hear about your early days and your mom problems. I didn't hear about growing up with your auntie who was a dude. I didn't hear any of those types of stories that made me relate, I guess, in a way that everyone should. So when he puts that message out there saying some people won't get it, get what? Tell me.
I get it.
I hear what you're saying.
I get it.
You know?
That album just wasn't for us. Us in the room.
I guess that
album's not for us. You know what I mean? Drake is trying to. You know, I feel like he's trying to expand his career
to the Justin Estradas of the world.
He's trying to reach a different group. I feel like a different audience.
Right.
So for us in here, like we could turn on that new Future album, like, man, 1 through 15 is hitting, slapping, everything, all the above. You know what I mean?
Right.
But this Drake album we listen to, we like, man, we ain't really feeling this shit. You know what I'm saying?
It just didn't. And I don't know. I'm just going off a first listen, or you know, I'm just kind of listening to it, and like it may grow on me as far as sonically. I think that's the only part that's going to grow on me. Like you just said, here in the cabana, if I'm chilling at a cabana with a margarita or something on a hot ass day, man, you might get me grooving to his shit,
right?
Because it is catchy. He's like I said, he's very good at keeping things very catchy, and I think definitely with the sound of it, that's going to be a vibe for the summer. But like you said, I'm just not gonna. You can't just serve me this plate and say I'm supposed to think it's, you know, first class.
Right.
I just don't think of it. I just don't think of it that way. And that's fine. Like, you know, music is subjective. But with him, you said it. He said, "What is this gonna do for him?" It does nothing. It doesn't bring him up. It doesn't bring him down. Because Drake could put out two or three straight trash albums. I'm talking about hot garbage.
2 more of these.
And it's not going to affect him.
Teflon Don.
It's not going to affect him. He has too much of a he covers too much of a base, especially with ladies, man. I'll tell you this right now. You try to diss Drake in front of a woman, bro,
I know.
You're going to have your head bitten off.
Yep.
They love them.
They just love Drake.
They love him.
They love
Champagne
some Aubrey.
They love him some Kiki.
Some Aubrey. They love him some Aubrey.
Champagne Poppy.
He could put out trash. They don't care. Like all the women right now are saying it's amazing, probably. Like,
bro, he could put out a silent album, bro.
Oh my
Facts.
God.
It's just
Just nothing.
I think I'm like, oh my God, it's so provocative.
You didn't get it? You didn't get it?
You didn't get the sound. That means he's expressing his emptiness with nothing. like for real. Like he can't lose in front of females at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like none. So don't even. I wouldn't even go to no lady in regards to critiquing him objectively. But yeah, now this ain't gonna affect his career or nothing like that.
All right.
No impact.
Well, we'll see. Only time will tell with that. Obviously, the album just recently released, and I hope he had a great Father's Day. I know I've been seeing him out there with his son out there playing basketball. He's been, bringing his son up in the world and letting him be in the public eye now. With that being said, obviously, we all work security in the nightlife industry, but a lot of us are fathers as well. In light of yesterday with it being Father's Day, do we get got love as dads?
Man, you ain't even say Happy Father's Day to us.
Did in the group, I said I messaged to everybody yesterday. I said Happy Father's Day from all of us.
Don't message me.
Honestly, I did get hella messages though. I mean, that's cool though too. You know what I mean?
You're being fake.
Not nigga. What you mean? Happy Father's Day, guys. To all my fathers that are out there, from all of us here at About the Night, Happy Father's Day. But to my boys individually on the day, I know I woke up and shared some light on my guys. I said Happy Father's Day. It's important to mention it to the ones that are actually doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
So got nothing but love for my guys up here as we're all fathers. Trying to figure out this life of kids. We have no manual, no instructions. We just winging it and doing the best we could. Right?
Are you trying to say we all?
Why? So let's look. Why we don't get the love? Man?
Why don't we get that much love?
Why daddies don't get that love?
Because I guess it's just assumed of us. We all were supposed to be bringing home the bacon, and it's just it's a normal thing when we're doing what we do, opposed to.
Go ahead, Tony.
I just have a thing on it. Well, the reason why, because like
Go ahead.
Tony about to unleash.
Yeah, he is.
He about to unleash.
It's throughout all societies. It doesn't matter what culture society you come from, but it's like a man is the rock, the foundation, the strong one.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so when it comes to, even when you look at things like as small as abuse and things like that, like, when a woman goes and hits a man, it's almost like, he's a man, he's supposed to take it. We're supposed to take all the hits, you know what I mean? When it comes to, the physicality part, and when it comes to even, throughout society and even just small things, whether it's like, I don't know, say you're going to have like a baby shower. Yeah, the man's supposed to be cooking, doing all the things, doing everything. And at the end, he gets a little praise and gets a little this and that. That's just something, that's the role that in the society we live in, we've kind of been taken on. You know what I mean? We just have to be that strong foundation, that rock to just take all the hits, whether it's, physical, whether it's emotional, mental. We're supposed to take the hits. And it's, to me, I think it's sad because when you look at the numbers, men hold the highest suicide rates. You know what I mean? Men have to be the ones to tough it out and to stay silent and to be strong. And it's like, that, I don't know, it's kind of a fact.
This nigga laughing.
I don't know.
Nah, this nigga just trying to get up with some headphones on. That shit was comedy to me. I'm sorry, I couldn't hold it in. In general, I feel exactly what you're saying though. We do take that big burden, and it's just as men, we're supposed to be strong.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for laughing at that what you said because it was serious about the suicide rate. I just off camera saw some funny shit. My bad. It was ill timed. It was an ill timed laugh. But I see that because the pressure of being a man and raising a family and having to be the one who's always strong, not showing the weakness, can definitely get to some people. And for those who are having suicidal thoughts, there is a hotline that you guys can definitely call. You can definitely tap in with some of us on About the Night, and we'll at least direct you to the.
Bro. It's coming from somebody that was you do that shit on the phone. They be shooting shit like, "Don't kill yourself. We might send cops to your house." You get a fucking list. Trust me.
Man, ain't nobody going.
Someone gonna try to kill themselves. Google or whatever will fucking shoot shit at them immediately.
Bro, ain't nobody gonna call you. As soon as you start talking about Steph better than LeBron, they gonna jump off that building. They gonna be like, oh hell no, hell gotta be better than this.
We'll see.
Viewer discretion advised.
Yeah, for real. Because honestly, don't even get me going back on that subject. We can argue all day.
To what you said, I think that's accurate. Especially in regards to the suicide rates. It's way up there. We are, the world is lifting. I'm gonna say something a little controversial, man. Rest in peace to the man who I first heard this from, KF Samuels. Lifting is meant for the shoulders, not the hips.
What?
Say it again.
Lifting is meant for the shoulders, not the hips. So we have to lift the world up with shoulders, and we are always in a position of having to keep things the way they are, and have to take it without saying anything.
Yep.
So we can't even complain about. So for example, there's a lot of atrocities that women go through, tons, and we can go back in history how women have been treated. Straight trash. They literally were just able to vote. A grandma go.
Yeah.
Right.
So we not gonna pretend that ain't a thing. But they got outlets.
Yeah.
When a woman complains online about their life and stuff like that, they're met with sympathy. When a man complains, they say he bitching and he weak. That's the difference. So men, we have to go about it from a silent perspective. And we have to struggle in silence.
That's facts.
Like we have to, and we just got to deal with it, and we got to adapt, and that's our job. And to be honest with you, I ain't complaining about it. We supposed to.
Yeah, I feel you there.
We're supposed to lead. We're supposed to lead, and we're supposed to lead. And this is just me. I'm a little bit more old school. There are more people, but I feel like the man is supposed to lead, and I feel like the woman is supposed to do her best job of supporting him to make sure that he can keep his head on straight long enough to keep the family unit moving.
Why should there be a woman? Why should there be a woman? Why can't it just? Why you gotta be a woman?
What do you mean?
So my bad. I'm going back to like the blueprint conversation he was saying earlier. So when it comes to, there'd be male and male. Shoot, Father's Day could be two women. One of them has to be the father, right? No, yes.
Yeah, they got adoption for that.
You were talking about the blueprint earlier, and so some people, we talk about being fathers and knowing what to do. You know what I mean? Like you were saying, like we're supposed to do that.
Yeah, we should do that.
My thing is this though. My only gripe, and it's not really a gripe, but it's kind of like a concern for myself, is realizing, at my age where I'm at now at 37, and I've learned so many things between 30 and 35. It's crazy. I think between the age of 30 and 35, I've learned the most.
Right.
And my father wasn't in the household. You know what I mean? And so it's crazy that, we're supposed to, we may or may not get that blueprint because it's like we think we're okay, right? We grow up being like, I don't need my dad. I'm going to be different. I'm going to be like Will Smith. I don't need him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be like that. But it's like once you go on later in life and you make mistakes, you're starting to realize, whoa, wait. If somebody else would have told me this before, I wouldn't have made these mistakes. Shit. And as you start thinking to yourself, damn, like this is why it's important to have a man and a woman in the house. And the only reason I say that, and it's no gripe against like, gay marriage, all that stuff. Like no gripe on that. My thing is just when you're a boy and you're growing up, seeing those interactions between a mother and a father would have helped me. Like just seeing how a dad would treat a mom and how a mom would treat a dad. I actually could see two different perspectives every single day and not realize that was affecting me as a child growing up to where now I make better decisions or decisions that are more calm, more reasonable, more practical. You know what I mean? Later on in life to where I would understand, why I'm making the decisions I'm making, outside of that. So like, I think it's important when it comes to fathers having that blueprint is really making sure that the kids do have the mother and father in there. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. I've actually often said, when it comes down to equality, that's the big thing right now. Me Too, the equality and things like that. If this is my perspective, and this is my opinion. Equality to me doesn't mean same. To me, it means as far as equal outcomes. I think it's equal importance. Both the mother and the father have equal importance. In their position and in their roles.
Right.
But I think that's the issue. But for dads, like Chris Rock said, man, all we get is the big piece of chicken.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm willing to take that big piece of chicken. I ain't turning down turning down no breast.
I get the turkey leg at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I will say that I had that conversation on Father's Day because as I was talking with another friend, and he was telling me his downsides of him and his dad not talking, and as they grew up, his dad was angry about some of the decisions that he had made and was trying to, not necessarily torture him, but like put him down. Like, if you don't come back, I'm going to report the truck stolen, and, giving him the hard stuff. And basically, once we get to a certain age, when you're an adult and you grow up in that, dual home family, I guess you bump heads with the dads more often. Why? Because as men, we're trying to tell you certain things to say and certain things to do. But once you're growing up, you really don't want to listen to those people in charge. They feel like they're kind of bringing you down or holding you back because they're telling you not to do certain things. So like when we were having that conversation, he was just like, yeah, I grew up with my dad and everything, my mom, but we were always butting heads and we were always angry. And I turned and looked at my brother, and me and him laughed. We both laughed like, we ain't have to worry about that because our dad wasn't around to bump heads with. We could do whatever we want. And I always felt like because he wasn't really around when we were growing up, I always grew up with a chip on my shoulder. Like I could do this because he's not here. I could do it on my own because
you never question, like you never like ask yourself, like, because my biggest thing that I would have thought not having my dad there, and now it's crazy because now my dad's around a lot now, and so it's crazy. Like now I'm starting to figure out who I am. Like I'm like, oh, that's why I'm like that, or that's why you never question that. Like, dang, why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like
it's funny is because I actually reached out and went out there to where he was at and spent some time with him. And when I spent some time with him
in Jamaica,
no, I was in Jamaica.
Where's he at?
He stays in Florida, right next to Jamaica, right next to the beach, man.
Right near the beach.
Wagwan, brethren.
Jamaica, we have a bobsled team.
When I went out there, I started seeing things that he would do.
I wish I remember this song.
That reminded me of things that I would do. And I ain't seen him, and he ain't been my father in years. He's my father, but no constructive
Can
criticism.
I ask one question? My bad. I'm really not ragging on him. Does he like when he talks to you? Is he like? Does he? Does he walk back? I feel like your dad would.
Nah.
Oh, okay. Shit. Damn it.
Warren, what you got on, man? Why daddies don't get the love, man, on Father's Day? Man, we don't get the sales.
Yeah, you, man.
We don't get the Father's
mystery.
We don't get the Father's Day sales. We don't get none of that shit.
I don't know, man. I feel like, we live in a woman's world. We like to think that this is a man's world, but to be honest,
world is not.
It's not. You know what I mean? This is a woman's world. So I just feel like as men, like we're conditioned. Like you guys were saying, like we're the rock. Like you got to take care of your woman. You know what I mean? Like the females, like we got to take care of them, like our wives, our kids, our daughters. You know what I mean? Like that whole new hashtag that's going around, like girl dad. You know what I mean? It's just your condition. I feel like from birth to just take care of the female.
No, there's things that that a mother. I get it, the same sex marriage with the women, but there's things that a man teaches another man that you just can't.
Absolutely,
and we can get into debt. Like you could like
we can definitely get into debt. I'm gonna bring some up. This is gonna be a little bit controversial about the night. We'll bring this to you. What y'all feel? What do you guys feel? Because I'm gonna say how I feel, but I want to get y'all's opinion on it. How do y'all feel about women who celebrate Father's Day? The mothers saying it's another.
I don't feel no type of way about it.
A second Mother's Day.
I actually call my mom and tell her Happy Father's Day.
I want you to go first.
Well, no, it's just in general. I show my mom a lot of love on Mother's Day. That's when nurture her. We take her out. We have a good day. But at the same time, when I was raised by my mom, I didn't have that father figure, so I'm not going to disrespect her because I'm not saying that she had to step up and be the father, but she was doing the father thing. She was working 2 jobs, trying to feed 2 big-ass growing boys.
That's not father thing. Keep going.
It ain't. No, but she was trying to take care of us, signing me up for sports, changing me into different schools, making sure I was being active in school.
That's not father.
It's not.
No.
She couldn't teach me the certain things that I needed to be taught. I get that. I had to learn those things on my own, but at the same time, I didn't have someone to harp on, and I couldn't cry because I didn't have that guy there. I just had to make do. So I give her kudos on Father's Day as well because she raised me. It's
I think there's
a
set holiday for that. It's called Mother's Day.
It is. I give her love on Mother's Day and Father's Day.
It sounds like an amazing mother that deserves fucking hella flowers on that day. we're talking about men though. Like what you can teach a man. That's what I'm talking about because you didn't have your father. I didn't even, and the shit that I'm learning now, I'm like, dude. I even tell my dad now, Dad, could you imagine if you were around, like the shit you tell me now, like, oh my God, like.
You probably wouldn't have wanted to hear it though. You probably would have butted heads with him. Probably would have argued because he was around so much. And you would have thought of this bickering and him just like.
I'd have been smarter. I'd have been better. I'd have been more enhanced. You know what I mean? There's so many things that I realized that I would have done so much better had I had my father then. Like realizing like only a man could teach you that. Only a man could teach you. You know what I mean? Little tiny things even. How to jiggle. How many times to jiggle your penis when you're at the urinal? How many? There's things that a woman can't teach you that. Like dead ass. Like I know it sounds very small. Like oh that's so ridiculous. No, you don't understand. It goes far. We get into more masturbation. We get into bro. I'm telling you.
But I think it's more than. I think it's more than just what the father says. It's the example that they set.
Yeah, what they're seeing.
We're so visual. We want to see it. You know, for myself, you know, my dad was there, but he was a much older man. So I lost my dad at a young age just because of his age. My dad was old enough to be my grandfather. You know what I mean? He didn't have the best health either, especially going late in his life. But there was a lot of stuff I remember just him, what he did visually. I still take to this day, like now, like that I'm still able to insert and you know teach and hand down to my son, even when I don't even know I'm doing it. That's the key part. It's subconscious. How I act, how I interact with my kids and stuff like that. He comes out through me, and a lot of the positives. You know what I mean? But I do want to stay on that topic. This is no shot at all the moms that's out there doing their thing, especially the single moms that's out there that's having to take on, you know, fill that void if a father is not there as much as he should be. But I'm gonna be honest, none of you mothers should be celebrating no Father's Day. I don't give a fuck.
You gonna piss off the LGBTQIA plus? I said that right too.
You're gonna unfollow me. You can unfollow me, block me. Don't give a shit. None of you mothers should be celebrating Father's Day. You shouldn't be celebrating Father's Day. What you should be getting is a immaculate Mother's Day.
Yes.
And be celebrated to the highest degree because you are an A+ mother and your job deserve and what you have done is just extraordinary. But you damn sure shouldn't be taking that Father's Day role, because what it does to me, this is my thing, this has nothing to do with the mothers. What it does is when a mother takes that day and tries to claim that day, you're trying to diminish works of all these fathers out there, especially a lot of the good ones, a lot of the great ones that's out here doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm just being honest. Hey, I don't care. Unfollow, block, don't give a shit. Matter of fact, I might unfollow your ass. If I catch you on Facebook or Instagram or anybody
comment on
celebrating Father's Day as a mother, it's done.
No.
You are.
My man Stella would know what I am. Go to Escada.
What if you identify as the father for that day?
Huh?
What if you identify as the father for that day?
Oh, that's a whole nother thing. What? That's a whole.
Like, how do you identify?
If you transition, you change. Okay. We got to. That's a different thing.
I see what you're saying.
But I'm speaking to the heterosexual relationships, the mother and the father,
right.
And I don't believe that mothers should be celebrating Father's Day. What they should be just getting is an extraordinary Mother's Day, because they damn sure.
What if there's two women in the relationship? Like there's two women fostering a child.
That's a different dynamic.
And somebody recognizes himself as the father, the other one recognizes him. You know, she's a pitcher. The other one's a catcher for Mother's Day. You know.
No, they both should be mothers.
And as we were saying,
I think so too.
Into way too much details.
They can make that decision.
Catching and pitching.
That's a different conversation, and I think they could have their own. But I'm talking about to the heterosexual mothers out there who had a child with a man.
Right.
You should not be celebrating Father's Day.
I just think there's still
that is no indictment on you as a mother. That doesn't diminish your role. That doesn't diminish your work and your extraordinary parenting that you've been able to do to uplift your kids and put them in the best position and put them on your back where someone else was there voluntary or involuntarily. You had to step up. Somebody had to step up. you should just get a triple better Mother's Day.
Right.
But you should not celebrate on Father's Day, because what that does is diminishes all the father's work out there.
Yeah.
That day is there. Bro, we already only don't even get a fucking sale. Let us get something.
Yeah.
We get the big piece of chicken, and we get half off on ties. That's all we get.
That's all.
In the NFL season.
Don't take that from us. You already got everything else. There was a comedian, man. I forget his name. He was saying that. He said that Mother's Day is the second most celebrated holiday.
Oh yeah.
He said that the first one is Christmas. So he said, let me paint the picture. He said, it's Jesus, then your mama.
Right.
It's just like
That's
he said
facts.
Father's Day. He said Father's Day was down to like
20.
like 22. He said it was below like Flag Day or some shit.
Damn, I forgot about Flag
It's
Day.
like we was like way down the line. And it's just like fathers don't get shit. So
On top of that, we also have to share with a great prestigious day though, Juneteenth. I mean, it fell on Juneteenth this year, which is huge for a lot of people who don't really
see,
understand
when they tried to rob
Juneteenth.
Father's Day too, man. They tried to combine it, say get both of y'all out of here. They said we got one and done, y'all. 2 for 1.
I'm not
2
gonna
for-
lie. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know about Juneteenth till like maybe 5 years ago.
As far as it being celebrated, but as far as
And when I heard it, this is just me. I'm mad. This is gonna sound ignorant because I'm ignorant to it. Like I didn't know the truth. When I found out, I was like, sounds like someone's trying to pay us off. Pay us off our reparations. What the fuck?
look at it as
Juneteenth,
this.
the fuck?
Juneteenth, they came up with the day and the holiday, but I've always wondered when was the actual day.
Because
that-
niggas didn't get the memo. Hey, you're free. Hey, like,
Yeah,
let's celebrate.
like when was that day
No,
though?
it was
You
June
know.
19th, 1865.
Right, and it was a general of some U.S. Army.
It's when they liberated the slaves in Texas.
In Texas.
Correct. In Texas.
I can speak on this. It coming up. I knew about Juneteenth. There was definitely like, like festivals. There were things that people came together and celebrated Juneteenth. In black communities,
Right.
Stuff like that. This will go all the way back to the 90s for me, because I grew up. I was born in the 80s, so I knew about it. And I was privy to it. My dad knew about it. He would talk about it and stuff like that. So that was something I was used to coming up. But I mean, I want to ask it now, because now it's a federal holiday. This is the second year in a row it's been a federal holiday.
Oh, so it just okay. That's
It's
why
basically
I was,
it's basically in light of George Floyd and all of that. That's where all this came from. And
little George brought it.
so I want to, and all the other atrocities that's happened, especially dealing with unarmed black men being killed or black people being killed.
I'm not buying it.
But and I want to get to that. Do you think it's fake representation? Like, I feel like I think we're appropriating this shit.
I think if like we were in Congress, right, and we're trying to get something, they'll be like, "Why y'all niggas want shit? We gave you Juneteenth." You know what I mean?
Right. Like that's supposed to satisfy
like,
something.
what?
Like that. Like to me, I'll be honest with you, especially a lot of this corporate shit. Because man, it's like, bro, I even seen like fucking nightclubs advertising drink specials on Juneteenth.
What?
And I'm like, really? I'm like, it almost sounds like it's like it's a gimmick. You're really trying to water down what the significance of Juneteenth really is. Especially when it gets, and we can say the same thing for a lot of holidays. I feel like they do that with Christmas. I feel like they do that with Easter.
Halloween.
I think they do that with a lot of these holidays. They turn into this money grab type of situation. They're just trying to take advantage of it. Man, I really ain't buying it, man.
So you're
I see a
saying
lot
that
of corporations, they get involved in it and they want to make sound like they woke.
So
Well,
it's,
you
fake,
think
it's,
it's
fake, it's fake representation.
Bro, like,
is
I
what
wanna
you're saying?
Absolutely.
When I heard,
Well, I say it across the board. Are there anecdotal examples where they're not? Yeah, we could go that route. But I think for right now, I think it's a buzzword for a lot of corporate greed. Number one, I think that's where it starts. You got a lot of corporations saying, "Oh, we're celebrating Juneteenth. We're woke, brother.
Right.
right?
Like,
And
get up out of here with all that." I'm not buying
when
it.
I heard the story of how it came about that they there were some slaves that didn't know they were free, and they gave them the announcement, and then that's when I said to myself, I said, hold on, I'm not proud of that. Like that's like I hear that story and I'm like, ugh. Like I'm just like, I feel like some white person come up to me and be like, yeah, we gonna give you a holiday, boy. That's where it went down and told you other boys that didn't understand y'all was free. It was free. Like, oh, come the fuck on, man. Don't give me that fucking day. Give me the reparations, goddammit. Don't fucking and don't give me money. I'm not like Native Americans. Don't give me money. Give me fucking, some free taxes here and there, some education, some fucking, you know what I mean? Like my first house gets like $20,000 on the down payment on my first house. Give me something like that. Don't give me fucking money.
Something that's gonna uplift the community in general,
right, bro?
And
Like to repair the shit that happened, which is we got a disadvantage, like because we were red zoned and we couldn't live in certain areas, and so we were in ghettos. Why shit is the way it is now? Even though people don't believe that that's true, it is. Like fuck, man. Like just repair the shit that y'all broke. That's it. Reparations. Fix it. Done. Like this Juneteenth thing, I think it's just a cover for it. But
is there really a certain amount or certain type of gesture that can repair what was actually done?
Yes, because what happened is we're the race of life, we are at a disadvantage because our parents, generational wealth,
So
we weren't at a certain pace.
So I think, the question I think you're asking, are you saying that is there a number that would satisfy?
A number or something they could do to satisfy the previous people who were tortured into working for free?
I think it's very. So if you want to, so I'll answer this in two ways.
I have the perfect answer.
So it's very to say that you can put an actual number.
You can.
On no, but I mean, but what the question, what he's saying, could you put a number on? I think it's easier to put a number on the working for free, because then you can equate the wages that should have been earned by the time those people. I think that's something the mathematicians of the world could actually go do. That's something that's more tangible. You could probably do that. Mm-hmm. But what slavery did is much more mental and psychological than it was physical.
Yeah, facts.
And the one thing, and I always, when I have this conversation, because obviously, and anyone, educate yourself on it. Black people weren't the only ones that were enslaved.
My bad.
I'm
gonna sound stupid. It didn't mentally fuck me up. I wasn't a slave.
Right.
But I mean, I'm being serious.
But what I'm saying, wait. Let me finish.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that black people weren't the only ones enslaved, and I say this often. The difference is the reason why it's different for
you're talking about that period, right?
Right. No, I'm just talking about in general.
In general,
in the world,
the whole
world, in the history,
because everybody was enslaved at some point.
There was slaves. The difference is we were the only ones where it was legislative, where it was the law. That's the difference. You were literally, it was in the law books that you were not even a full person.
Two-thirds of vote.
Right. So there's a and especially for a country like America, and that's what I say. And when we start comparing it to other countries, I think that's where the conversation gets convoluted. We have to centralize it down to America, which is supposed to be the best country ever to have existed.
Like how you worded it.
And the origin of its country is rooted on the backs of enslaved people that did not get paid and that were stripped of their name and things like that, and their culture, their native tongue,
their dignity,
and everything. Like we can go deep, and I don't like playing the victim Olympics on this, but that is the reality of it. That is the truth of it. But when I think about Juneteenth and what it's become now, I think everything is just become this corporate, attempt at trying to capture money. They're basically trying to use it. They're opportunistic. They see this. They say, okay, how can we capitalize on this? How we can capitalize, money wise. And I feel like it is fake representation for the most part across the board. I don't feel like anybody really cares. And I'm speaking from the mass organizations and institutions don't care about Juneteenth or care about what it's supposed to symbolize. I think that's the important part.
It's your extra day of people potentially buying shit.
That's it. Okay. Just like all holidays.
And like you said, it's a payoff. Bro, they over here tried to change Aunt Jemima syrup. I don't give a fuck about that.
I liked her on the syrup, goddamn it. It tastes different now. That motherfucking syrup tastes different.
That's supposed to mean something.
Fuck, man.
Who was asking for that?
Right.
Was you asking for that?
No.
Was you asking that Aunt Jemima, that gotta go?
I need some Aunt Jemima off eBay.
It's gotta go.
I need the original.
We cannot have this woman being represented on this syrup bottle like that. It is fucking me up.
It's funny because I knew she was a slave though. When I grew up, I was like, that's how she's a slave.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. I feel like a lot of, especially here in America, they're very good and crafty at capitalizing on these type of things.
Right.
And they posture themselves in ways where they feel like this is what's going to satisfy people. Hey, we got rid of Aunt Jemima off the syrup. Hey, Juneteenth was a federal holiday.
Got rid of
Get
your
the fuck outta here.
great
Nobody
grandma, boy.
like that's not what we're asking for. Like if you really want to do that, you would actually attack some of the foundational issues that are going on why and the root causes on why, blacks have as far as being incarcerated, being number one in comparison to their population in this country. Address those issues. I don't care about the syrup.
The Aunt Jemima thing is funny is because they did the same thing in the NFL with the Washington. What's their team called?
Commanders. They used to be the Redskins.
What the fuck is that?
I ain't gonna lie, that should have been happened though.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest.
I get
the term Redskins, bro. That's like it's saying the Washington niggas.
Yeah.
Like imagine
Washington
if there was a team called the Oakland niggas. Like seriously. Like that's literally what that is. That slur is used to basically diminish and put down a race of people. That should have been gone.
Watch Peter. Have you ever watched Peter Pan? Why is the red man red? You ever fucking watch that shit? I've watched that shit. I was like, that's racist as a kid. Like, why are you asking why the red man's red? It's like, why is the black man black? I'd be like, fuck you. Like, yeah, it's just racist as fuck on Peter Pan. Watch Peter Pan. That's like one of the big songs on there.
I'll watch that again.
Why is the red man red?
But to your point, but man, look how long it took them.
Right.
They had been fighting with Dan Snyder for the longest, try to get that name changed of that team, and there was a lot of other teams too.
The Commanders?
They changed it to Commanders. Yeah. What did the Indians change? The Cleveland Indians. Now there's the Cleveland.
Oh damn! They even went that far. I didn't even know about that.
They're another team now.
They changed a lot of names. I know what you're talking about.
It's Cleveland who?
Braves. I know they were the
no.
Braves.
No, the
Braves
Braves
are the Braves.
No, the Braves
Atlanta.
stayed, and the Chiefs stayed, and the Seminoles and things like that. Those
because they're
names
empowering.
stayed because it's empower. It's basically showing like that's more of an homage and commemoration for the Braves and the Seminoles. That's more of like a celebration more than a put down. Like being a Brave was a symbolism of power. A chief. Like that's a higher title, but
it's like an Albuquerque, New Mexico, the Albuquerque LeBrons,
right?
What I mean, for the black part,
right? Somebody look it up. Somebody saying in the comments what the Cleveland baseball team changed their name to. It's escaping.
I actually seen it this week and I just forgot what it was.
They changed.
Yeah.
Commander though.
Yeah, that's
Washington
in the NFL.
Commander.
Yeah.
There was no commander in the Native American. Anyhow,
they just completely went away from it.
They should have called them the Washington Bidens.
The Bidens.
They had a bunch of different names, but a guy copyrighted all of them.
Jesus. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Taking L's all year.
I was watching Biden on that bike.
Oh my God.
I was like,
no, Joe.
what you doing?
You didn't see it.
No, Joe. It would be like when Winton rode a bike.
I can see Winton actually falling off it like that. hey.
He literally, like, I swear, like, he gave that, no disrespect to the president, but I am a little bit. He's like, he gave out that old mum when he fought her.
I remember seeing old people fall all the time. They always do. I don't know why they all grunt the same.
The turtle ain't got no bones. Oh,
ultimately, one heck of a show.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Nah, man, I'm good.
Warren, how you feel about
with what?
Juneteenth? Come on.
Oh, Juneteenth. I mean, I agree with you, Rob. I think it's just a lot of corporate BS now, where it's just it's a whole huge money grab. Like people are like really forgetting what it's about and the history behind it. Like it's just like you said, just another avenue to make money. You know
Do you
what I
ever
mean?
have any of like your white counterparts try to tell you anything about that day?
About Juneteenth?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Like, oh, I know Juneteenth, blah blah blah, nothing like that. Okay.
No.
What would that do if they did? How would you feel?
What?
Now they always try to brag about it. I know what Juneteenth is. The fuck?
How does it make you feel when they say that?
Who said that?
It's kind of like those people that go, "I have a black friend," you know?
Yeah.
That's all that's turned into.
Yeah. Like, okay.
When you call a white person racist, they be like, "Man, I love George Floyd." Like that's supposed to mean something to me. Like what?
I have a George Floyd action figure.
I'll tell you this right now, and this goes for any white person. This goes for any person, anybody else. I think you do some racist shit, and your response is that racist ass nigga right there. Racist. Bro, you don't need to say nothing else to me.
Oh, shit.
Anyways, well, ultimately, man, I do want to thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I do want to once again say, go ahead and like and subscribe. Tune in every Monday night. We're always here rocking with the best crew. We got my guy behind the 1s and 2, Mr. War Ready. Yeah, my main guys on the cameras in 1s and 2. My guy, Mr. Suede _like_coach. You got my guy Tony WSJR _official. King of Sacramento in the building, and we're in your living room today. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in and bearing with us. Anything else you guys want to add before we end and get up out of here today?
Make sure you support, man. Like, share, subscribe.
We're on the third question,
To be truthfully honest with you, I couldn't really.
We sleeping on it.
Yeah.
We sleeping on it.
Yeah.
Scroll. Can you scroll down on that?
Have a good night, y'all. Have a good night.
in general. I feel like everything we had today was really impactful. I hate to say it, the Juneteenth, Father's Day.
It wasn't all impactful. Your Steph Curry take
Man,
trash.
I kid you not. And weeks come later, if y'all niggas change y'all mind, I swear to God, I'm coming back to this.
On a few shows here going forward. Every time you have a take, I'm like, oh, like that Steph Curry take?
Yes, nigga, Steph Curry is better than LeBron James right now. I will say it over and over and over again. My nigga Steph got 4 championships, where my nigga LeBron got 3.5.
You can call a sheep a tiger all you want. Don't mean it's going to roar when.
So you're telling me it's going to take Steph Curry to get one more championship to be considered better than LeBron?
Past LeBron, he's going to have to get 2 more championships.
2 more at least, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in to episode 27. These motherfuckers is crazy right now. He need 2 championships?
2.
To beat LeBron, and this nigga still got 4. So he going to have 4, and LeBron and Steph going to have 6, and that's...
Is he going to go into the third question?
No.
Oh, okay. Good.
Good night, Sacramento.
Thank you guys for tuning in so very much.